It's called being fashionably late. I'll have you know, I think, right? Or just unprofessional, I guess it's also called that. Anyways. That could be referring to something that will never be discussed again. We'll never talk about that again. It's not important. It means literally nothing. Don't worry about it. No. Okay, so Surface and Boots debate in which you are incorrect, but that's not important right now. Also, okay. So we got the thing. I think the big oh god, I really should have made saves before we start. Sure, yeah, let's do some images while I think about which save I'm supposed to load. Let her rip while I ruminate. It was, oh my god, hell yeah. Dude, that's badass. Phenomenal. I guess I could just start over and like hit the fast forward. That might be the best, and then just start saving at the important parts. Oh boy. We're not quite there yet, but indeed, happy birthday. The best. Well, not the best. One of the best. Everybody in Steins Gate is the best. Can we agree? Whoops. Can we agree on that? Oh boy, oh my god, there's so many. I like it. That's adorable. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. He is the best, along with everybody else. All right, that one's cute. Feels a little out of character, but you know, I like it. And then this one. Oh my goodness gracious. I love it. Retweet. This is why I avoid Twitter, among other many other reasons. I don't want to become a blind retweeter. I don't want to become a retweeter, period. Yes, I love this one. Dude, they really got they nailed the eyes. Like, again, I've said it before, Steins Gate is my favorite art style of the science adventure games. Primarily, one of the biggest reasons is the eyes. I love the art style of the eyes. That's fair. I see you've you've come to the dark side, or the light side, the bright side, the side. Okay, I'm gonna go with this. I'll just here. I'm gonna hit this one. I think this one leads to the thing. Oh. Okay. This might be right after though, in which case I'm gonna be embarrassed. All right, hold on, which button is? One of these is fast forward, or like skip mode, auto mode. I don't want to use force skip. That's about, oh, E, got it. Computers, I'm totally used to playing games on the computer now. Okay, there we go. Big news. Lay it on me. Tell me the big news. Share away. College next week. Damn. All right. That's awesome. Way to go. Okay. I definitely missed it. Hold on. This is after the thing. Not to take away from your big moment. I'm sorry. There. Okay. Oh, no, I'm sad. Yeah, I want to go to college someday. There's a handful of reasons I'm not. One of them is money. One of them is my anxiety. But like, I would love to go, but but that's awesome. Oh, I believe in you. Okay. Oops. Okay. Nope, not Ryan. That one. That's not good. Can't do. Okay, so I'm supposed to not this time. I think. Okay. We have this is I picked an awkward time to chat. But yeah, good. Best of luck. You got this. College town. Yeah, I think I answered it. Or no, I didn't. I don't remember what I did, but I don't think I was supposed to. I'm fairly certain this is the part where I'm supposed to not. Yeah. Turn off the phone. Oh wait, yeah. Power off. Yes. Boop. Yeah, I was confused because I was like, I don't want to answer it, and then I realized that it wasn't the prompt wasn't to answer it, it was to turn it off, and then I was like, oh, okay, and then I thought I clicked it, and then I didn't click it. I thought I clicked the button to turn it off, and then I realized, and then like I was like one click away from moving to the next prompt, and I was like, okay, I turned it off. Boop. And he's like, I won't turn off my phone. I was like, okay, I guess we're not turning off the phone. I don't fucking know. Anyways, this time the phone is off. I was so confused. The phone went silent. I slowly stood up. If Lukako saw me like this, he'd worry. I should get out of here. I was staggering a little, but I could walk. I felt very thirsty. Getting all the names wrong. Oh man, they got the TV on, but it's playing news instead of Phantasm, and my heart is broken. How you gonna do this to me? How you gonna have the TV on in I say TV, it's not a TV, it's like a screen on the bridge and not give me best girl? How you gonna do that? I gulped down an entire bottle of mineral water and caught my breath. Oh hey, also background music. Remember that thing I said we weren't gonna talk about it? And now I'm mentioning it? Oh my god, I still can't believe that happened. Anyways, background music is on and playing, and it's great. Isn't that great? Isn't it awesome when there's background music in the game where the music is like such a big factor? Isn't that so cool? I don't know if best is the word I'd use to describe it. Certainly the most humiliating for me. Like that, I mean, hey, I got it out of the way early, right? I say early, I've been doing this for like 2 years now. I got it out of the way, so it cannot get worse. I cannot go any lower than that. Anyways, there was still a little time before my meeting. I wanted to get some air up here and recover a little. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad something good came of it. Because oh my god, I can't imagine. I looked down over the scenery below the overpass. The city was worst. I mean, depends on the moment, you know, depends on what's on the screen. If I get dark, I really hope I don't accidentally dox myself someday. That's, with my, like, that's my biggest worry with my absent-minded brain. I'm worried I'm gonna just be like, oh, let me show something on screen, and then it's just my home address. And I'm like, well, I guess I have to move now. The city was in the Christmas spirit. The atmosphere was charged with excitement. It was the exact opposite of me. I took more deep breaths. Take out my card. I literally did that last stream. It didn't have any information, but I did show off my debit card because it's cool. I have like a cool sticker on it. It didn't have any numbers on it, don't worry. It's funny you say that though, because I literally did that yesterday. Not yesterday, Tuesday. I took more deep breaths. I still felt like I wanted to throw up. I was getting a headache too. If I went to Dr. Leskinen like this, I'm sure I'd worry him. It's time. You've entered the world of, I don't know, buying things for yourself. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid and I wanted to buy stuff online, my only... not until you stop calling me that. When I was a kid, I wanted to buy stuff online. I had the only recourse I had was to ask my parents to buy it for me, and I would give them my allowance. That was all I had. And then one day, it's like in the blink of an eye, just I grew up and now I can just buy things. I could just go to the store. I could go to the store right now and buy a whole cake, come home, eat it. I could do that. That's the day that happens, the moment you realize you can just do that, that's when you know. That's when you know you made it. Is when you can just go buy something, come home, it's yours. You have to, no permission. You don't need to ask permission. You just get it. Dang. That's fair. Yeah, it's such a great feeling being able to just get things. Granted, that's how I'm very financially irresponsible, so that's how I end up in a very poor financial situations, but still, the fact that I can do that, you know. I know I'm living on fucking wheat thins and ramen, but you know, I'm free to do that. So there, I did that on purpose. That was a choice I made. What's this judge? Well, he can judge all he wants. I don't care. He's just a piece of wood, literally wood. Ironically, considering his friend is named Woody, he is the one made of wood. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna play the game. So many distractions. And then I realized that the two girls coming up the stairs were looking at me. I peered into the late afternoon darkness to try and make out their faces. Please, 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 please. One of them, the girl with the short haircut, waved. Yes.
Oh, Mayuri no tomodachi no.
They were Mayuri's friends and fellow cosplayers. I don't think so. I think this was, did we? Well, I guess we can find out. Oh no, we did. Wow. How about that? Oh, this is new. No, you're right. And also, okay, for some reason I thought he went straight from the shrine to the lab to quit being a tester. I guess I was, no, thank you for saying that. That would have been a lot of repeat reading. Awkward. Anyways, this is certainly new. Oh, and they got the snow, not the music. The sky was red-black, dotted with columns of thick black smoke. There was so much rubble I couldn't find a place to stand. Screams, gunshots, and the stench. Everyone in this world knew what this smell was. It was the smell of burning. Houses, buildings, cars, motorcycles, trees, grass, and humans. It was the smell of all of them burning together. It's not a good one, that's for damn sure. But it's definitely a different number. So this isn't the same like World War III like big military one that we went to in the last one. The number was different, I think. Something thin and black poked from between piles of rubble. It was a hand. The hand, unmoving, stretched up toward the sky. No, that wasn't the only one. Everywhere I looked, I saw hands, legs, and heads. Jesus Christ! Parts of what were once human beings were strewn across the ground. I heard a distant gunshot, a shout, silence. Nothing changed. Just one more body lying on the ground. The world was ending. And at last, people understood. This wasn't the afterlife. This was the real world. Hell. Yes, that's what this was. This was hell. Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh, we're back. We're good to go. The world twisted and warped. I felt horribly dizzy. Sometimes my vision would blur for no reason. But this was nothing like that. It was like my mind itself was being wrung apart. Like the world itself was changing. Deja vu. I knew this feeling. This was... At last, the color came back to my vision. All the shouts of the pedestrians and the noise of the passing cars came flooding in at once. Yeah, that's... Jesus Christ.
汗すごいですけど気分でも悪いんですか?
Yeah.
Fubuki and Kaede. The two of them were still in front of me. They looked worried. Had I just gotten dizzy for a moment?
本当に大丈夫だよ。心配してくれてありがとう。
それじゃあ私たち行きますね。今度のパーティー楽しみにしてます。
Interesting. So I'm wondering if that wasn't actually a shift, because wouldn't she have also gotten dizzy? I'm wondering if that was maybe like just actually part of his trauma, or if that was an actual shift and back. Interesting. They said their goodbyes and walked toward the station. Oh, right. Thank you. I watched them go, only halfway paying attention. What was that? None of the passers-by noticed me standing there. They were all experiencing time sequentially, as one connected moment after another. But I knew what I just saw. Yeah, it definitely seemed real. It definitely seemed like a real one. That's right. I was the one person who understood. That feeling was reading Steiner. Which meant that the world line had changed? I shook my head and tried to get the idea out of my mind. It was impossible. The world line could only change if someone had altered the past. I'd only ever seen world line changes after I sent D-mails with the phone wave named subject to change. But I destroyed the phone wave named that it will always be phone wave named subject to change. So that could never happen again. I'd sacrificed Kurisu for it. But then who did this and how? What if someone had made a device identical to the phone wave named subject to change? No! Stop! Bad game. Damn it. Affected by it. Maybe. Yeah, that could be. And the fact that this like new world line seems very similar to the old one. Like it doesn't Like, he's still exactly where it was, so she probably didn't even notice it. Oh yeah, that's... yeah. I, like, yeah. That's so fucked up. Mayuri. I need to see if Mayuri is safe. I'll call her right now. Call Mayuri. Not Ryan. Phone call. Oops. I got excited. I picked her name off the contacts list on my phone and dialed. I could hear the call sound in my ear, but there was no sign of her picking up. 7 seconds, 8, 9. Each second made the fear worse. I felt cold sweat drip down my back. 12 seconds, 13 seconds, 14 seconds. I kept calling and praying anyway. Eventually, after a minute of ringing, the electronic sound suddenly cut off. Oh, dude, the panic in his voice. Heartbreaking.
どうしたのそんなに慌てて。
The relaxed, easygoing voice I heard most definitely belonged to Mayuri.
心配したぞ。ずっと鳴らしているのに出なかったから。
Mayushi desu. Yeah, it's very cute. I was so worried. Oh, you know, he said that.
ごめんね。電話カバンの中に入れてたから。
It was nothing. Nothing had happened at all.
もしかして何か急な用事だった？
いや、気にしなくていい。少し不安になっただけだ。
不安？
今どこだ？誰かと一緒か？
これからバイトだよ。
何時まで？
8時過ぎぐらいまで。
そうか。わかった。
おかり、遊びに来てくれるの？
You better say yes.
今日は用事があってな。無理なんだ。
I'm mad.
バイトが終わったら、ラボにも顔を出すつもりだよ。
わかった。もし行けるようだったら、そこで合流して一緒に帰ろう。
ほんと？今日は珍しいね。
Oh my god, she's so cute.
じゃあ、バイト頑張れよ。
I hung up. Mayuri was safe, which meant that the world line change probably had nothing to do with her, not that I could let my guard down. Or maybe that was just a daydream, and there was no world line change at all. It seemed awfully realistic for that to be the case, though. Just to be safe, I turned on my phone again. The icon was still there, in the same place it had been the last several times I'd used it. I felt a little hesitation, especially after what happened. Could I really contact her after that? But I decided that it was important to see what was going on first, so I tapped the icon. Oh. Wait to screech. I'm trying to keep my screeching to a minimum. Karisu's voice was the same as ever. It screeched. That's pretty funny.
怒ってないのか？
怒る？どうして？
だってさっき話している途中で切ってしまっただろ。だから。
それについてはさっき謝ってもらったから。私は一度許したことをいつまでもぐちぐち言う人間じゃない。
さっき謝った？
ええ。
Beg
かけ
pardon?
直してきたじゃない。
かけ直した？俺が？
ほんの7分43秒前のことを忘れちゃったの？
俺が謝ったのか？お前に？
Oh my god, Okabe, yes! She just said that!
大丈夫？
Kurisu was evidently telling the truth. She didn't look like she was lying, at least.
何かあったの？さっきとは別人みたいな顔してるけど。
いや、平気だ。
I didn't remember that. I remembered turning off the phone, but I didn't remember anything about calling her, the Amadeus Kurisu, back after that. The old me would have insisted that I was right and that she was mistaken. But now, I wasn't sure. After all the different pasts I'd experienced, and all the pain and all the sadness and pain I'd gone through, even 6 months later, I was still exhausted. What had really happened and what hadn't? Yeah, definitely. What was right and what was wrong, I wasn't sure anymore. I just didn't want to think about it anymore. The past, the future, the fate of the world. I wanted nothing to do with any of it.
ずいぶん具合が悪そう。誰か知り合いに連絡するなり、どこかで休むなりした方がいいんじゃない？岡部？
なあ、クリス。一つ聞いてもいいか？さっき電話した後、俺が何をしようとしていたかわかるか？
This, like, God, that reading Steiner seems like such a fucking curse. Like, it seems cool at first, but then you quickly realize that, like, oh, that's a soul crushing. Like, every time it changes, you just, like, you have to relearn everything that you yourself have done. Jesus Christ.
レスキネン教授と真帆先輩とこの後待ち合わせでしょ？私について報告する予定じゃない。
Evidently, my memories had matched hers in that regard.
そうか。
真帆先輩にあんたのことあらかじめ伝えておきましょうか？
本当に大丈夫だ。心配かけてすまない。
あんまり無理しないでよ。あんたと最後に話したのが私でしたなんて結果になるのはごめんだからね。
Literally, right. Well, to be fair to Okabe, he already had that problem before he got Reading Steiner. Or before he started using Reading Steiner. So, not much changed in that regard. I chuckled bitterly and ended the conversation. I called Daru too, just in case, and evidently I really was on my way to see the professor in Maho. He also told me that almost all of the events of the last few days matched my memory of them, which meant that even if the world line had changed, nothing had changed nearby where I could have seen it. There was no problem, or at least there shouldn't have been a problem. Right. Fubuki, for example. That poor, oh man, I feel bad for anyone who isn't Okabe who has Reading Steiner. Gotta be a fucking absolute nightmare. I mean, it's a nightmare for him too, don't get me wrong. It was possible that that moment of dizziness was just the result of mental illness. Experiencing those same sensations brought up my past trauma and caused my memories to get confused. Maybe that was it. The phone wave, named Subject Change, didn't exist. So there was no way the past could have changed. That's right. That was all. I kept telling myself this as I went to see the professor. I suppose that's true. Up to you know what. I met with the professor and Maho in a hotel room. Hey Leskinen, how's it going? Hello, totally funny and not at all problematic Leskinen. How you doing, buddy? We're friends.
それじゃあ今のところ M デスとのコミュニケーションはうまくいっているということでいいんだね、リンタロウ。
ええ。会話に齟齬が出ることもありませんし。
ちなみに聞きたいんだが、クリスとの距離感はどうかな？
Hey boy, what's up? That's still, that might be my favorite of his expression. Still.
距離感というとどういうことでしょう。
話しているうちに親しくなってきているかどうかということだよ。
それは初めて会話した時に比べれば多少は。
多少？かなりの間違いじゃない？私だってクリスと話してるんだからそれくらいわかるわよ。あの子最初は8回もイルスを使われたって怒っていたほどなのに今じゃすっかりフレンドリーになっているもの。それだけ距離が縮まったということでしょ。
そうですか。それは喜ばしい。
That is such an interesting thing. Like, nothing is changed except the fact that he called to apologize. That's literally the only thing that changed. So far, like that we know of. Leskinen seemed overjoyed by Maho's words.
私は期待しているんだよ。彼女が君に対して友情を、もっと言えば恋愛感情を持ってくれないかとね。
Leskinen,
恋愛感情？
I need you to tone it down.
そんな声を上げることもないだろう。
Yeah.
でもその AI ですよ。
AI だからだよ。
What did he mean?
彼女にだって感情はあっただろう。
I mean, to be fair, like the idea of an AI falling in love, quote unquote, is would be an interesting like topic of discussion and like field of research, right?
だけどそれはあくまでもプログラム上のことで。
でもそれは人間の脳だって同じことじゃないか。
He was right. The brain ran on electrical signals, so you could say it had the same structure.
今は機械に感情があるかないかなんていう命題はもはや時代遅れだよ。機械にだって感情はある。
Definitely a very used science fiction trope. Definitely.
第一エメデウスは私たち人間の脳を再現すべく作っているんだ。構造が同じでプロセスが同じならその結果生み出されるものも同じなはずだろう。ならば彼女だって恋をする可能性は十分にある。いや、ぜひしてもらいたいと思っている。
Okay, Leskinen, if you could go ahead and not play matchmaker, please. Amadeus falling in love.
おっと、こんなことを言っては魔法に恨まれてしまうかな。
Yeah, that's fair.
教授までクリスみたいなことを言わないでください。
冗談だよ、冗談。魔法は怒ると怖いから気をつけた方がいい。
それはもう分かってます。
ちょっと聞こえてますよ。
What would that be? I probably would not be able to guess. That's true.
おお、そういえば私はジュリーに連絡をしなければならないんだった。リンタロウ、少し失礼するよ。
Dalo. Okay. I can't even think of a trope. Like I'm really drawing a blank here on like any trope. Like childhood betrayal, like the betrayal of the childhood friend, I guess. I don't know. Is that it? I literally have no idea. Look forward and think. That does not help me at all. Oh, that's fair. Duh. I guess it was rather obvious in retrospect. I would say probably my favorite trope is probably, or at least one of my favorite tropes is like accepting mortality, like the journey the journey characters can go on in like coming to accept the fact that they're gonna die. Yeah, I mean this is one of my favorite. This is probably my favorite story in all of fiction, is Steins Gate. So I often describe it as that. Yeah, it's definitely something somewhere between those two, genre and trope. I would say my least favorite trope is like I guess this is more of a character trope than a story trope, but my least favorite character trope is the celebrity who is like, oh, I was so shy and meek when I was younger and I had no friends and I was such a loser, but then I got famous and now I'm all better now. It's shocking how often that trope is used, and it drives me insane. It makes me it irritates the shit out of me. Where it's just like, oh man, I used to be the loseriest loser that ever losed, but then wouldn't you know it, I got famous. Isn't that crazy? And now I'm all outgoing and happy. Anyways, dude, immortality would be the worst. I know. Let me die. Don't take that out of context. Or do. I don't care. Let me die. Let me die. When it's time for me to die, I would like to die, please. No immortality for me. Yeah. A good example for me is there's a character from Persona 4 named Rise Kujikawa. She's fine. She's a fine character. I don't hate her as a character, but she has that trope, and I want to. I just want to die every time it comes up. I hate it so much. Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? I do understand why people would want to be immortal. Like, I get the appeal of it. We're talking about it like it's a real thing. I definitely get the idea, but it really does take a lack of foresight to not realize what a bad time that's gonna be eventually. Yeah. Yeah, I would lose my mind very quickly. All right, Steins Gate. Oh no! Okay. Had to get that out of my system. Professor quickly left the room. You ran away, didn't he?
まったく。クリスといい教授といい。どうして何でもかんでもすぐに色恋沙汰に結びつけたがるのかしら。
Did she? I love I like, I know I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I love Maho, and I just love how few fucks she gives so often. She's just like, why are you people so stupid? I love it. She's the best.
まったくだな。
Of course, that was always the type of girl she was.
あ、そうだ。岡部さん、ちょっと聞きたいんだけど。
Damn mainstream woman.
あの子がクリスが好きな言葉って何か知ってる？
言葉？
数字でも何でもいいの。何かこうキーになりそうなものに心当たりないかしら。
クリスが設定したパスワードを破ろうとでも？
よくわかったわね。
Oh, Maho. Spoon. Spoon. I think that might be my favorite part of this playthrough so far, is when you're talking. You said perv twice. Oh, that's funny. I think it was him and Dara were discussing the words, and I was like, well, spoon comes to mind, and the next fucking line from Okabe is like, Or no, fork. Fork. I said fork. You said spoon, which confused me. It's not spoon, it's fork. Anyways, yeah, it's... Oh, it cracks me up. I love whenever that happens. And my... No, I'm lying. My favorite part so far is the thing with... when Mayuri was like, chi chi chi, and I went on a tangent where I was like, I can just imagine Mayuri wagging her finger at me when she says that, and then the next fucking line was like, Mayuri wagged her finger at me, and I lost my mind. I love when that happens. It's so funny.
あいつの研究室の PC か何かの？
彼女の私物。家にあったノート PC よ。
そんなものどうして君が？
形見分けでね、譲ってもらったの。クリスのお母さんに。
I mean, if that was the moment I died, I've died a lot throughout these streams. I have died several times.
それで中身を確かめたいからパスを解除する方法を探しているの。あなたなら知ってるんじゃないかと思って。
パスがかかってるということは見られると困るものなんじゃないのか？
それはそうだけど、でも彼女アマデウスのクリスをより本物に近づけるためにはその中のデータも解析した方がいいでしょ？
Oh, you're such a liar, Maho. You're such a bad liar.
もちろん私自身はなるべくプライバシーに関わることは見ないようにするつもりよ。
I knew what she was trying to say. She might have had some kind of diary on her computer which described what she'd been doing during her time here. Yeah.
悪いけど心当たりはない。
何も？
ああ、それに知っていたとしてもやっぱり俺は教えないと思う。
人には知られたくないことがあるから？
特に PC の中身なんていうのは今やプライバシーの塊みたいなものだからな。
Naru talked about that all the time. He was always wondering if there was a way to automatically wipe a computer's hard drive if you died in an accident. Of course, what Daru didn't want anyone to see was probably very different from what was on Kurisu's computer. Beyond that, it was the same idea.
そう。
She seemed really interested in the contents of the hard drive, but she didn't say anything else.
それじゃあ俺はこれで。
I don't think there's anything on my computer that I would like die if someone found, but there could be. I don't know. Just like my archive of terrible artwork. I guess that's the closest thing. I was a little worried about Mayuri too, but first I got a rhyme. Hey, Ocarine, what's the best color for a school swimsuit? Oh my god. What the hell are you talking about? Who gives a crap? White, definitely. All right. I like. Okay. Dedicated to me. Not quite. No, definitely not. Definitely, certainly, most certainly, 100% not. I'm gonna go with white, definitely. Just play along with Captain Daru here. I see. Excellent choice. Very few normies would pick a white school swimsuit. You might be more of a pervert than me. Oh boy. This is what I get. I know, right? just completely like playing along. Oh, sorry. I'll give you the next one. I actually just picked a color at random. I mean, white makes sense with him because he's got the lab coat. He's partial to white for sure. Nice, Ocarine. I'm taking that advice. Thank you. Oh my god, I love these stickers so much. Oh yeah. Haru, please. Oh my god, it just keeps going. Stop with the commentary. That was incredible. I love, dude. Yes, absolutely yes. I got up and went to leave. And then I saw a small ornament that was decorating the door.
そういえば、もうすぐクリスマスか。
I remembered how excited Mayuri was.
ヒア嬢さんはクリスマスもこっちにいるのか？
ええ、こっちでまだやることもあるから。
誰かと過ごしたりは？
え？
ああ、いや、ほら、海外のクリスマスっていうと、友達みんなで楽しくパーティーでもするってイメージだろ？
Oh my god, just invite her. Just say you're invited to a Christmas party, Okabe. Just say it. Get up with the preamble. True. It's, dude, they're adorable. I love them.
残念だけど、そういう予定はないわ。それに、アメリカやヨーロッパじゃクリスマスにパーティーなんてやらないものよ。
そうなのか？
彼らにとってクリスマスは神聖な日でしょ。だから家族と一緒に過ごすのが普通よ。その分大晦日は大騒ぎするけれどね。
I thought I'd heard something about that on TV or somewhere.
まあこっちには家族もいないからどっちにしても一人ということに変わりはないんだけどね。あ、だからって寂しいと思ってるわけじゃないわよ。誤解しないでね。
Or so she said, but being alone on Christmas in a bustling town was probably pretty lonely. Yeah. I probably would spend it with friends, considering you know, if I had those. Of course, she'd probably get mad if I told her that, so I didn't. No, I usually go over to my, well, actually, I was gonna say I usually go over to my sister's house, mainly just to watch my nephew open presents. He's 13. Christmas tree? I think probably not. I'm probably gonna do another birthday stream this year though, so that's exciting. It's coming up. Happy birthday to me. Dude, that last birthday stream was the saddest fucking thing. And because of that, I'm absolutely gonna do it again. It was so funny. When I finished talking to the professor, I went to the lab. I'd confirmed on the phone that Mayuri was fine, but I wanted to see her for myself. Go see the Mayuri. I could see from the outside that the lights in the lab were on. I ran up the stairs to get away from the cold and opened the door. Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, he's fun. he's very excitable. I don't think he's quite to the point where he's like embarrassed by his family. Maybe he is. I don't know. He has yet to communicate that with me though. I try to do the thing where I'm like, I try not to treat him like a kid. I try to treat him like a person, you know? I'm like, hey, bud, how's it going? Because, yeah, he's gonna... Because then he's gonna hate me. He's 13. He hates everyone, though. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's in his head. Anyways, I'm gonna play Steins. I go off in these fucking tangents. Oh man, this is getting weird. Okay. I don't have an answer to that question. All right, and we're done. Back to the video game. I felt a small impact on my chest when I opened the door.
いえ、僕の方こそごめんなさい。
Dude, I love how he has a different, this is a different skull hair clip. Like, I'm curious how many of these he has. Like, it's obviously at least 2, because it's clearly a different one. I love it. Evidently, he was just about to leave. Lukako looked up at me, apologetic. For some reason, he was blushing a little. That was a based on your reaction, I'm going to say that was a joke. Well, he certainly caught me off guard, that's for sure. Only Daru and Lukako were in the room. That's an interesting pair, alright. There was no sign of Mayuri or Suzuha.
よかった。もう少し早く帰っていたら、岡部さんと入れ違いになっているところでした。
もしかして俺を待っていたのか？
はい。と言っても別に大した用があったわけじゃないんです。差し入れを持ってきただけで。
おまんじゅうもらったよ。
Daru had already eaten about half the box.
いただき物ですから。皆さんでどうぞ。
Yeah, it's interesting. This is like a pair that never really like is together without someone else. Yeah.
そうか。ありがとう。
Though it does kind of make sense considering, you know, who he is and who he is. Like, I could see them trying to hang out, but then Luca being like, all right, I gotta go, bye.
つうか、ルカシ、時間大丈夫なん？
Lukako looked up at the clock and started to fidget.
実はこの後、お家にお客さんが来ることになってるんです。
客？ルカ子のか？
いえ、父のお客さんです。なぜか僕にも同席してほしいと言われまして。父は普段同じ趣味を持った人を呼んで長い時間話し込んだりするんです。難しい話ばかりで僕にはよく理解できないので普段はお茶を出すぐらいしかしないんですけど、どうして同席してほしいと言われたのか。
Oh, jeez. 1 second. I gotta blow my nose. All right, definitely not doing illicit drugs off screen. Why did I even say that? That's true. That's a good point. Mayuri can be pretty awkward. She can be pretty Daru-ish when she wants to be.
難しい話って宗教とかそっち系の話か？
Lukako's family ran the Yanabayashi Shrine, one of the oldest in Akihabara.
そういうわけではないみたいなんですけど、この前のお客さんとは有明がどうとか晴海の頃はどうとかそういうお話をしてました。
晴海、有明。
Well, I mean, if he would just cosplay for her, then she wouldn't have to keep talking about it. Right. Weren't those places...
さすがルカシのパパ、恐ろしい子。
岡部さんや橋田さんはわかるんですか？
I feel like I'm also missing something.
まあ、なんとなくはな。でも、その話はまた今度だ。客が来るなら、早く帰った方がいい。
あ、それじゃあ僕はこれで。また来ますね。
He bowed deeply and disappeared out of the door. Out of the door. Yeah. I watched him go, then sat on the sofa.
マユリは
メイクインじゃね？今日は来てないよ。
No Google. No Google today. I went I went too far last stream or last Steins Gate stream. I I let myself get carried away with the Google. I Googled too much. No Google today. I'm cutting myself off. Sorry, Goodle or Google, depending on which game you're playing. Or should I go get her?
そういえばオカリン、さっきの電話だけどさ、あれ、なんだったん？
He was probably talking about the phone call I'd placed to him before I went to see the professor.
あれは気にしないでくれ。多分俺の勘違いだ。
そうなん？だったらいいけどさ。
It's your shame. I remembered the strange sensation I'd experienced. I'd wondered if I'd shifted between world lines, but several hours had passed and nothing had changed. Actually, I wasn't even sure if I'd really experienced it anymore. Memories were like that. Also, hold on, I'm just looking at the background here. What the fuck is this thing? What is this? It's like a cat paw wand. It's like it almost looks like the handle almost looks like a tennis racket or something, but it's like a cat paw. Is this something Ferris left here? What the fuck? I'm blown away by it's Ferris's whacking stick. She left it here for if Daru's getting a little too extreme. Memories were like that. I like that would be great if it was like a variant of the Future Gadget number 6. It's like variant version. Ferris modified it. Especially for me.
それにしてもハルミとはさすがはルカシのパパベテラン戦士っすな。
戦士がどうしたって？
Speaking of warriors, here's the part-timer. No, this isn't the part-time warrior. That was the other Suzuha. Suzuha got back before Mayuri did.
ルカ兄さんのお父さんって戦士なの？
How come he gets Mr. when I'm stuck being Uncle Ocarine? I'm sorry, clearly Uncle is a
歴戦のつわものと言っても過言じゃないのだぜ。
へえ、そうなんだ。でもルカ兄さんの家って確か神職だと聞いたけど。ああ、そうか。神職の人も昔は兵士だったって言うよね。
She convinced herself.
確かにルカ兄さんはすごかったし、納得だ。
I love that she just went with this train of thought and then just like, I get it. All right, fair enough. Moving on. Seriously. Like I love which. Yeah, it's great. You got Dad, you got Uncle Ocarine, you got big sis's Mayuri and Ferris, or sorry, Rumiho, and yeah, it's glorious. Amazing? What was amazing? I decided to just pretend I'd never heard that. Well, this is awkward. It still felt awkward looking at Suzuha. I'd avoided coming to the lab mostly to avoid seeing her.
オカリンおじさん、そんな顔しないでよ。
Evidently, she could read my thoughts just from the look on my face. She seemed upset.
私のことを避けてるのは分かってるからさ。
お前が悪いわけじゃないんだけどな。
Yeah. This is a different Okabe.
つうかス
The
ズハ、
sadder Okabe.
今日もこんな時間まで何してたん？
Still, it's one of my favorite, like, I can't remember where I saw it, but it was just the Steins Gate Zero, where Okabe goes from mad scientist to sad scientist. Tickles me.
もしかしてどこかの男とデートとか？ いけません。そんなどこの誰とも知らない男とのお付き合いなんてお父さんは許しませんよ。
違うよ、そんなんじゃない。
本当に？
Oh shit, he's got the serious face. I thought it was a joke, but evidently he was serious about it. His tone was far less joking than usual. It must be hard being a dad. It must be hard being a dad when you're not actually a dad yet. Like,
本当だって。
it's gotta fuck with your head, right?
だったら父さんの目を見て言いなさい。
父さんがそれ言う？
どういう意味なんそれ？
母さんというものがありながら、いっつもそこで変なゲームばかりやってるじゃないか。
Yo, called out.
それは2次元と3次元はあくまで別物ですし。
お前2次元も3次元も関係ないって前に言ってなかったか？
おかりん、そういうことここで言う？裏切るなんてひどいよ。
It's not cheating if she's 2D. Yet another thing to take out of context. I'd never been on Daru's side when it came to his hobbies, though.
ご本。とにかくそういうことなら今日は何をしていたのか父さんに言いなさい。
何って。
やましいことがないなら言えるはずだよ。
Suzuha glanced at me, then sighed in resignation.
人を探していたんだ。
人？それってやっぱ男？
Damn it, Daru.
違うって言ってるじゃないか。小さな女の子。今はもう私より年上になっちゃってるか。
Dude, yeah, same. I feel the exact same way. We need a whole new dynamic with Daru, Dad Daru, Mom Yuki, Lil Suzuha. I need it all. That was a strange way to put it. I glanced over at Daru, who looked back at me, and yeah, and Uncle Ocarine, Auntie Mayuri. I need it all.
実はさ、私が乗ってきたタイムマシンにはもう一人乗っていたんだ。
なんだって？
スズハ、そんなん初耳なんだけど。
今まで話してなかったからね。
She was looking down at her feet, and I could see she regretted bringing it up.
その同乗者は何者だ？今どうしてるんだ？
どうしているかはわからない。
わからないって。
はぐれちゃったんだよね。1998年にここ秋葉原で。
1998. That would have been 12 years ago. She did indeed. So it wasn't just Suzuha who came from the future. It took some time for the meaning of that to sink in.
でもなんでそんなことになったん？
私とその子は IBN5100 を探すためにはじめ1975年に飛んだ。理由はおじさんならわかるよね。
I nodded silently.
なんとか無事に IBN5100 を手に入れた私たちは今度は1998年に飛んだ。2000年問題を回避するミッションのためにね。
Yeah.
2000年問題？
That was one of the big events at the end of the last century, along with Nostradamus' prophecy. But in the end, after all the fuss made by the media and pundits, nothing really happened. Was that because John Teeter had come from the future to fix it? If that was the case, then wow.
その1998年にトラブルが起きてその子とはぐれちゃったんだ。
それではぐれたままタイムマシンで跳躍したのか？
仕方なかったんだ。あの子は自分からタイムマシンを飛び出してしまったし、そ れに
She must have remembered something because she swallowed her words with a bitter expression. Yeah, that happened.
もちろん私だって探した。燃料の残量が許す限り何度も細かいタイムトラベルを繰り返してあの子の姿を探し回った。でも
In the end, she never managed to find her.
大体の事情は分かったけどさ、どうして今までそんな大事なことを黙ってたん？
Maybe share all the information.
あの子を見失ったのは私の落ち度だ。ちゃんと自分で責任を取りたかったんだ。
水臭いな。
Daru's words were soft. I read that as Dad's words were soft, and I was like, it's like, wait a minute, Okabe doesn't call him that. Daru's words were soft.
僕たち親子だろ。困った時は頼ってくれてもいいのだぜ。
父さん、
その子を探せばいいんだろ。だったら僕らも手伝う。な、オカリン。
God, yeah, I'm sorry I put that into the world.
なって、俺もか。
当たり前だろ。別に未来を変えてくれっつってるわけじゃないんだし、それくらいやってくれてもいいっしょ。
まあ。
To be honest, after refusing all her requests to save the world, I was feeling a little guilty. I've only condemned her to absolute failure in her mission, so I did feel a little guilty about that. I'd like to help her if I could, but I wanted to know what she'd do after she found her.
で、その子の名前と年齢は？ちなみに可愛い女の子だよね。男とか言ったら父さん許さないぞ。
女だよ。
オッケー。名前と3サイズもやろう。
God damn it,
3サイズなんて知らないよ。だって別れた時のあの子は10歳だったんだから。
Suzuha taking him completely seriously. I don't know her 3 sizes. Oh my lord.
幼女か。
Dude, stop! What the fuck is wrong with
じ
you,
ゃあ
my
今は
guy?
22歳になってるはずだな。
Jesus Christ.
名前プリーズ。
Fucking.
名前はカガリ。
Can we move?
椎名カガリって言うんだ。
Can we scoot him out of the room, please? Good God.
シーナ。
The name was an unusual one. A girl who was part of Daru's group in the future who had the name Sheena.
スズハ、まさかその子って。
うん。彼女の母親の名前は椎名真由里。カガリは真由姉さんの子供なんだ。
Mayuri's daughter. Of course, it was possible that Mayuri would choose to have a child in the future. But the fact that I'd never even thought about it made the shock that much worse. If she had a daughter, she must have had a partner. And that partner couldn't be me. Because I died in 2025. Wait a second. If she was 10 in 2036, then she would have been born in 2026. I'd have to learn more, but if I died in 2025, wasn't it just possible, maybe, barely, that it could be me? That just couldn't be. Just like Suzuha had appeared before Daru, she was going to appear before me. Dude, Okabe, I like to imagine he's just standing there. He's having this internal monologue, and everyone's just looking at him, and he's just standing there like, just frozen. Oh my lord. I still have not checked out any of the audio CDs. I need to do that. I've made a decision. Once I finish 0, I'm jumping right into those. I will get right to them because oh my god, they sound amazing. And there are so many of them. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, they're not that, but there is that, like, I feel like that's one of those things where it's like they don't have that relationship, but it's always on the tip of everyone's minds because they're always together, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I need to check these out, but I want to finish 0 first, and then I'll have all the context. Just like yeah, all right, that one. Oh, okay, mate. You're such a sweet summer child. Who was the dad? I couldn't ask.
あれちょい待ちシーナってことは名字はそのままってことだよねってことは
かがりは戦災孤児だよ。身寄りがなかった彼女をまゆ姉さんが引き取って育てたんだ。
ああなんかそれまゆしらしいかも。
Alright, Okabe, you can breathe again. You can breathe now. I realized that I was relieved in more ways than one, and I hated myself a little for it. Even if she did marry someone else in the future, as long as that made her happy, it was for the best.
私はまゆ姉さんからかがりを頼むって言われたんだ。だからこんなことになっちゃいけなかった。あの子はいつだってまゆ姉さんにべったりだったし、この時代には知り合いなんているはずもないから、きっとずっと心細い思いをしてるはずなんだ。
その子はどうしてはぐれてしまったんだ？さっきトラブルと言ったが。
She'd come to a new era in the time machine at 10 years old. Suzuha would have been the only person she could rely on. There was no way she'd leave Suzuha and run off on her own.
私にもわからない。ただ過去に飛んでからのかがりは精神的にかなり不安定だった。
That's an understatement. That made sense, come to think of it. A young girl, just 10 years old, was suddenly taken to a world where she knew no one. Of course she'd be scared.
その子の写真か何かはある？
あ、うん。
She's adorable. Oh. She showed me a tattered picture with 2 girls in it. One was an adult woman. I couldn't see her face, but maybe it was Mayuri 20 years from now. I mean, maybe, considering she's wearing the exact same outfit she's wearing today. That's one thing. Like, I don't know if I would consider it a plot hole per se, but it is a little weird that she's wearing the exact same fucking outfit she's wearing now, right? Like literally the exact same outfit down to the fucking scarf. I guess she's not wearing the scarf here, but she was in a earlier picture. It's so who could it be? Hiding behind her was another girl. Was that Sheena Kagari?
この子が22歳に成長してるわけか。いまいち想像がつかないな。
Yeah, I mean it's not completely unbelievable, but it is a little weird. Like, but again, I could see her, like, even if, you know, she lost the outfit, I could see her making a new one, and just she really liked it, so she made a new one that was the same one. I guess I could see that. It's just a little weird. Really changes outfits. That's true. Even if Japan was a safe, peaceful country, it would be hard for a young girl to get by on her own. If she was lucky, someone might take her in and give her to an orphanage, but if she wasn't, Suzuha was probably well aware of that possibility, so I didn't bring it up.
なおかりん、協力してくれよ。
Yeah. I like to think that he has a bunch, but it probably is this exact same one. I've always imagined he has like 7 lab coats, 1 for each day, and they all look exactly the same. But I think it is like pretty well established at this point that he only has the 1. It's true.
マユリの養女なんだろ だったら見つけてやりたいさ。でも鈴葉はいいのか？
Yeah, no, I know. I know. It's just funnier to me to think that he has a bunch. He should get a bunch. That would be very funny. I do love the fact that the one he gave Kurisu was supposed to be Daru's. How the fuck was he gonna wear that? Like, if it fit Kurisu, there's no way it would fit him. There ain't no way. I felt sure that Suzuha was disgusted with me. I had a chance to save the world and I had given up. Would she want help from a person like that?
おじさんさえ良ければ、人手は大いに越したことはないと思うから。
It is kind of heartbreaking that like he's so convinced that she like hates him now. She doesn't hate him, she's just disappointed in him. And it kind of breaks my heart whenever he's like, oh, she must despise me. And I'm like, no, she doesn't despise you. She's just disappointed in you.
そうか。だったら
Yeah.
手を貸すよ。
I mean, the proof is that she still calls him Uncle Ocarine. Like she will, no matter what, he is always her Uncle Ocarine. Yeah. Of course, I didn't think this would make up for that.
ありがとう。マユシーの幼女がどうしたの？
Oh god, no! Shit, she heard. Everyone turned around at the sudden voice.
てってるー。おかり、本当に待っててくれたんだね。
I love this outfit so much. I love the scarf. I love how huge the scarf is. It's so cute. Mayuri.
どうしたの？
The moment I saw her, I finally relaxed.
よかった。マユリ。
I took her small hand in mine and felt the warmth. She was alive. This is
おかりん？
this music does not fit the tone of him being like, oh my god, you're alive, I'm so relieved. Then this fucking music does not match. Oh god, no. No more running.
すまない。
別に嫌じゃないから大丈夫。マユ姉さん、いつからいたの？今来たばっかりだよ。
So anyways, about my daughter, about the whole my daughter thing. What was up with that? I was careless. I was so focused on what Suzuha was saying that I didn't see Mayuri come into the room.
ねえねえ、マユシーの幼女がなんとかって聞こえたけど、何の話をしてたのかな？
I like how she says it as if it's just like, oh yeah, my daughter, you know? Like, she's not like, I don't have one of those. She's just like, yeah, I heard you talking about it. What's going on?
それはその
Crap. Mayuri knew that Suzuha was from the future, but telling her about her future daughter would be going too far. I needed to change the subject.
マユリはまだまだ幼い。
Different Mayuri.
つまり幼女だと言っていたんだよ。な。
Oh my god. I mean, like, he's kind of right, but not because she looks so young, it's because he looks like he's aged fucking 20 years from stress.
あ、そうそう。マユシは幼女かわいい。
Of all the fucking routes they could go.
童顔だってよく言われるんだ。ユキさんみたいに大人っぽくなりたいんだけどね。
食べる量だけは立派に大人かもしれないな。
Damn. That wasn't a compliment, Mayuri. She's so pure. That was enough to distract her, evidently.
そうだ。食べ物といえば、オカリンはクリスマスに何か食べたいものある？
ク クリスマスパーティーのことか。別に何でもいいぞ。食べられるものならな。
As long as it's food.
クリスマスパーティーか。
I love how he said that.
すずさんは初めて？
Do not feed me wood chips, please. World domination.
私たちの時代はパーティーなんてやってる余裕なかったからね。でも一度だけ父さんがどこからか美味しいチキンを調達してきてくれたことがあったっけ。それをマヨ姉さんが調理するって言って父さんが止めて。
Suzaha was looking at Mayuri as if she was remembering something, as if she was remembering the past or future, as the case may be.
いつもよりほんの少しだけごちそうってだけだったけど、それでも嬉しかったな。
Oh. In the future, when World War III was going on, there probably wasn't much time for celebration. But even then, Mayuri was still Mayuri, trying her best to make everyone happy.
ダルくんは何か欲しいものある？
僕は可愛い女の子がサンタコスしてくれればそれだけでお腹いっぱいだお。
Daru be Daru! I need a laugh track. Just like, that's Daru!
料理はどれくらいいるかな。ユキさんと一緒に用意する予定なんだけどね。そうだ、ルカ君やフェリスちゃんにも手伝ってもらおうかな。
Seinfeld outro. Oh my god, that would be perfect. Yep. I can't even remember how it goes, but yeah, I can imagine it. That's, oh man, that's great. Oops. Mayuri's head was full of thoughts about the Christmas party, it seemed.
今誰かパーティーに呼びたい人いる？
Oh my god. It's fine, don't worry about it. Do I need to add that to the fucking soundboard? Seinfeld outro.
俺？俺は別に。
I almost said no, but then I remembered someone. Oh god. Alright, fine. That's our Daru. Alright, that's enough of that. Oh my lord. Hyajo Maho. I will not do it again. No, absolutely not. She said Christmas is something you always spend with your family, but I'll do it. Listen, I'll do it next time Daru does something weird. But only once. Next time Daru is a weirdo, we'll let her rip. It won't take long.
特には。
How is she going to spend her Christmas? No, stop. Calm down. I'll keep it. No, I'll do fine. It was after I walked Mayuri home. The second I was alone, I started thinking about this afternoon. If that really was a world line change, then what was the cause? The most likely possibility was that someone had succeeded in developing something like the phone wave, named subject to change. We were able to make one. There was no reason someone else couldn't. Another possibility was that... No, there was no use thinking about it. I was just mistaken. And even if the world line did change, we weren't the cause. We didn't have anything to do with it anymore. Whenever I was alone, I always ended up thinking about things that wouldn't do me any good. Right? Yeah, no, I mean, that would... I think that would set off a whole new chain of events. I took the phone out of my pocket and tapped the icon.
ハロー。
That's still my favorite thing. Hello. Karisu's expression was as self-satisfied as ever.
こんな時間にどうかした？
いや、なんとなく話がしたくなって。迷惑だったか？
別に迷惑ってことはないわ。あんたと話すことは私のためにもなるんだし。
She was an AI after all. She wouldn't be bothered no matter the hour.
先輩とは会ってきたのよね。
ああ。
何の話をしたの？
何って、お前とのやりとりについて報告をしただけだが。
それだけ？どこかへ誘ったりは？
まだそんなこと言ってるのか？ヒアジョーさんに言ってみろ。また怒られるぞ。
だってようやく先輩にも運が向いてきたかもしれないんだもの。せっかくのチャンスを掴んでもらいたいでしょ。
That's fair enough. I understand. Oh wait. Oh wait. Karisu seemed insistent on getting me and Maho together. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Alright. Sheesh, doesn't she have other things to worry, other things to think about? Things to think about. Would she have anything to say about that other matter?
なあ、
I'm gonna ask like
ちょっと相談なんだが、消息不明になった人を探すにはどうすればいい？
随分と唐突ね。
身近でそんな話があったんだよ。でも自分たちじゃどうすればいいのかわからなくてな。
詳しく教えて。
She leaned forward, suddenly interested. She really was a curious girl.
それが
言えないことなの？
俺だけの問題じゃないからな。
それで相談に乗ってくれって言われても無理がある。
だよな。一般論でいいんだ。意見を聞かせてくれるだけで。
そうね。一番いいのは警察に行くことね。
That was the obvious and correct answer.
あとは更新所に頼むとか過去の新聞記事を当たるとか。あ、でもそういうことはもうやってるか。
どうかな。
どうかなって、まさかそんなこともやらずに探そうとしてるの？
俺も今日聞かされたばかりなんだ。後で確認してみる。
She's definitely from the future. I mean, not from the future. I mean, what? What are we talking about again? But Kaguri was from the future. And Suzuha didn't have any personal documents in this era either. Which meant that it was unlikely she'd gone to anybody in the government.
アメリカなんかではダウジング屋通して人探しをやるなんて人もいるよな。
まさかあんな何の科学的根拠もないものを信じるとでも？
Yeah, we got some crackpots over here. What's your point?
いや、言ってみただけだ。
よかった。もしそうだとでも言ったら二度と話なんかしないところだったわ。
She really was just like Kurisu.
ありがとう。参考になったよ。
見つかることを祈ってるわ。
ああ、それと。
何？
いや、なんでもない。
何よ。気
It's
になる
not,
でしょ。
it's just from present day. Yep, totally. Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%.
本当になんでもないんだ。それじゃあ今日はこれで。
Why was I just about to say that? I was just about to tell her about Mayuri's Christmas party to see if she wanted to go. Kurisu was just an AI. She only existed inside of a computer. I guess I was just starting to see her as real. Don't do that.
どう父
Or
さ
do
ん
do that. I don't know. I said
何
do
か
do.
手がかりはあった？
いや、残念ながらこっちは何にも。
そう。
The search for Mayuri's future daughter, Shina Kaguri, was taking longer than expected.
一つ聞くが、警察には行ったのか？
うん。一応言ったんだけどね。でも捜索願いなんかは出してない。
I was right. In order to submit a missing persons report, you needed to have an ID to prove who you were. That's why Suzuha hadn't done it. And also, I later learned that the only people who could submit a search request were people like family and significant others who were close to the missing person.
僕の方でも昨日軽く警察のデータベースにハッキングをかけてみたんだけど、それっぽい情報は出てこんかったよ。
Daru with the casual hacking.
だろうな。
Oh yeah, I hacked the police database. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
つうことはオカリンも見てみたん？
ダルのように内部情報を見たわけじゃないがな。
There was a database of missing persons on the police homepage, but it didn't go back very far, and it didn't have a lot of information. All it had was age, sex, clothes, and sometimes possessions they were carrying. Since we knew nothing about Shina Kaguri, we had basically nothing to go on.
でもさ、一見平和に思えるこの世界でも身元不明者や行方不明者ってたくさんいるんだね。
I mean, this is the man who hacked into fucking CERN, so he's pretty good at it. He is indeed a super hacker. I thought the same thing. Each year, over 100 unidentified bodies were found in Tokyo alone. If you expanded that to cover all of Japan, that then went back 12 years, you'd have a pretty big number. And the number of missing persons was far greater. Each year, almost 100,000 people went missing. And 1 out of every 5 was in their teens. Of course, most of them just ran away from home, and 70% were found within a week after a report was filed. But if 70% of them were found in the first week, that meant 30% of them weren't. In fact, 5% of them were never found at all, and no one ever knew if they were alive or dead. Perhaps Shina Kaguri was caught up in an accident or killed, or perhaps... I sat up, then got off the sofa.
オカリン、どっか行くん？
もうちょっと調べてみようと思ってな。
School would be on break soon anyway, and it wasn't like I had anything to do. And while I hadn't been very interested at first, at some point I'd become really interested in the whereabouts of Shina Kaguri. And more than anything...
ありがとう、オカリンおじさん。
別にこれくらい大したことじゃない。
Oh shit, are you alright? Go get some rest, take some Tylenol or something?
うん、それでもありがとう。
As long as I was looking for Kaguri, Suzuha probably wasn't going to bother me about the future. Yeah, agreed. Headaches are the worst. Well, one of the worst. Having her bring up the same thing every time we met was hard for me. If I could get her focused on something else, that would make things easier. Yeah. Well, yeah, she's grateful, like, instead of spiteful, which is nice. Or so I thought, but finding clues wasn't easy. Give me... This is a crime. This is a crime that the news has taken over the Phantasm screen. I am enraged. Just in case, I'd gone to the National Diet Library and looked at articles on missing persons and crimes in 1998, the year she'd gotten separated from Suzuha, but I'd had no luck. Suzuha had said she had been looking for Kaguri every few years on her way to our time, so I knew it wouldn't be easy. But I couldn't help but feel a little tired and disappointed. Yeah, that's also probably true.
どうかした？
あ、
何？
いや、
Why'd you call then, you idiot? I'd called Kurisu without even realizing it somehow.
ねえ、昨日よりさらに疲れてるみたいだけど、大丈夫？
そう見えるか？
That's true. Yeah, we've been in the mind of Okabe for a while now.
声のトーンがいつもより低い。結膜に多少の充血も見られる。もしかして昨日言ってた件を調べてたの？
まあな。
I told Kurisu what I'd heard from Suzuha and Daru and what I'd found at the National Diet Library.
バカね。そんなことなら私に言ってくれれば簡単にことは済んだのに。
どういうことだ？
私ならネットワークに接続してオンライン上の情報をリサーチすることができるでしょ？
She's like, I am literally a computer. I am literally capable of computation and like fast search. Like, I'm basically a search engine, my guy.
あ、そうか。
That's true. She was an AI that existed inside a computer. So something like that would be easy for her.
なんなら少しやってみましょうか。
すぐにできるのか？
それほど時間はかからない。
それじゃあ頼む。
わかった。少しだけ待ってて。
Kurisu fell silent on the screen and didn't move for a moment. Maybe 30 seconds later. I was kind of hoping she'd do like the like the air hacking thing where she's just like, all right. But no, she just stays still.
もう結果が出たのか？
ネットワーク上で検索してみたけど、1998年以降、椎名かがりという名の女性が何らかの事件や事故に巻き込まれたという情報は得られなかった。同姓同名の人物は3名ほど検出。ただ、年齢を考慮すると、その人物があんたの探している人である可能性は限りなく低い。ご要望なら、その人物のデータを後でメールで送るけど。
いや、いい。
I stopped to think about it. Even Suzuha would have been able to do a search for her name on the internet. And what Kurisu was saying was almost certainly right. The Makise Kurisu I had known was always right.
それじゃあ、
Something that
私にできることは以上かな。あとは
he would never say
あんたたち
before.
にしかできないやり
He
方
would
で
never
探すしか
admit
ない
out
わね。
loud.
俺たちにしかできないやり方？
その人物がいなくなった場所の近辺で地道に情報を集めるの。究極的にアナログな方法だけどね。
やっぱりそうなるか。
Suzuha had been doing that forever, so I couldn't imagine I'd find anything new. Something smells like it's. Give me a second. I'm gonna go check out my grandma. Something smells like it's burning. Give me like 1 minute. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Something was in fact burning, and my grandma had fallen asleep and left the burner on, and our big saucepan is now scorched to hell and back. So the burner is now off, and the living room is being aired out. We're good. Everyone's good. No fires, luckily. But oh my god, it is Smokey. Smokey the bear. Good. No, she's recovering from a knee surgery, so I'm supposed to be keeping an eye on her, which I was like, all right, am I good to stream? And she's like, yeah, go ahead. I'm glad I noticed that, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm glad I smelled the bird. So, stove is off. I told her not to use it again. We're good. Everything's good. All is well. There's hair in my eyes. Stream. Maybe someday. Guest starring. Sky-Clad Observer stream. Guest starring my grandmother. Alright. What was happening? I've completely lost track. We're looking for Kagari. Yeah, Souza had been doing that forever, so I couldn't imagine I'd find anything new. But if that was my only option, then that was what I had to do. Nyang? Who is the Space-Clad Observer? Excuse me. Read the name. I don't know. Perhaps someday. Nyang? I spun around when I heard a voice behind me.
やっぱりあかりんだにゃ。こんなところで何してるんだにゃ。
フェイリス、それに。
こんにちは、岡部さん。
And Luca?
なん
Yo,
だ、珍しい組み合わせだな。
It's Christmas already.
ついさっきそこで会ったのにゃ。そしたらルカニャンが荷物いっぱい持ってたからそこまで手伝ってあげることにしたのにゃ。
Dude, she talks so fast. I love it. I took a closer look and saw that Lukako was holding bags in both hands. If you added what Ferris was carrying, it was quite a lot. I was just thinking the only thing that could be better is if Mayuri or Maho was here. He was trying to carry all this alone? Lukako?
ねえ、ちょっと。
今何か聞こえませんでしたか？
Well, this is awkward.
いや、これは別に何でも。
I quickly hid the smartphone behind my back.
ちょっと、聞いてるの？ねえ。
また聞こえたにゃ。もしかしてさっきオカリンが話していたのはそれかにゃ。
いや、これは。
Dude, you're busted. It's over. It shouldn't matter if they found out. But I still felt guilty, so I closed the Amadeus app. Man, after apologizing for hanging up on her, he's gonna hang up on her again.
電話中だったのにゃ。
ああ、ちょっと知り合いに相談事をな。
相談ですか？
そういうことだったんだにゃ。後ろから見たらオカリンが一人でブツブツつぶやいているように見えたからちょっと心配したにゃ。
Did I look like she needed to worry about me? But, well, if she saw me talking to my smartphone in a place like this, I guess I could understand that.
でも水臭いにゃ。何か困ったことがあるならフェイリスたちにも話してくれればいいのにゃ。
It's boopin' time. Boop.
そうです。僕じゃお役に立てないかもしれないですけど、でもお話くらいなら。
Just wait for Maho to start up. It's maximum boopage.
ありがとう。でも大したことじゃ。
I don't know. I don't know. guess. No, wait a second. Both Ferris and Lukako had lived in Akihabara since they were born. Wasn't Suzuha already getting help from Ferris? Or was that in the different, sequence of events? And both their families had held important positions here. Maybe asking them wouldn't be such a bad idea after all.
実は今人を探してるんだが。
人ですか？
Yeah. I told them I was looking for a girl who'd gone missing 12 years ago in Akihabara. Of course, I didn't tell them that she was from the future or that she was Mayuri's daughter.
その子がどうして行方をくらませたのか激しく疑問だにゃ。
すまないがそのあたりの事情は話せないんだ。
にゃ
ー
そういう話に心当たりはないかだけでも聞いてもらえれば助かるんだが。
分かったにゃ。とりあえずフェイリスの方は黒木に聞いてみるにゃ。
Kuroki-san was her family butler. I'd met him several times. In the same way that Ferris naturally looked like a maid, Kuroki-san just naturally looked like a butler. Come to think of it, it was rather strange for a maid to have a butler for a servant.
あとメイクインニャンニャンのご主人様たちにもそれとなく聞いてみるにゃ。
僕の方もお父さんとそれから氏子の方たちにも聞いてみます。
悪いな。そうしてくれると助かる。
Both Kuroki-san and Lukako's dad knew a lot of people, and they had a far better chance of finding someone than we did. I hope that they could at least find some small clue.
それはそうとルカ子、その山ほどの荷物はどうしたんだ？
あ、これは昨日お父さんのお客さんが来るっていうお話はしましたよね。
It really is sweet how much they care about each other. I love it.
実はそのお客さんの一人がしばらくうちに滞在することになって。
それで必要なものを買い揃えていたそうにゃ。
If they were a guest of Lukako's father, they must be fairly old. And from what I'd heard yesterday, they probably had some unique hobbies.
それは大変だな。
いえ、僕もちょっと楽しいですし。
Fun? Lukako shared the same blood as his dad, so perhaps he had some latent interest in those hobbies. Are they talking about like Kamima and like the otaku stuff? Is that what they're implying? I feel like I'm missing the because I know that was the thing in a couple of the stories, is that like it's heavily implied that Lukako's dad was like really into the otaku scene. So is that the idea? Is that the I think that's what they're getting at here.
り込みすぎないようにするんだぞ。
They gave him that warning, then went to leave. I feel like it. I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that was implied in the. I can't remember which story it was in Phenagram, but and then other times they've just like. Just certain messages between with Lukako and on his story, just like the things his dad knew that he probably shouldn't know. I gave him that warning, then went to leave. Well, I tried to leave, but.
よいしょ。
Help
ルカニャ
them.
大丈夫かにゃ。フラフラしてるにゃ。
Oh no.
大丈夫です。僕だってこれくらい。
He's trying so hard. Of course I could see that. It's so.
よかったらお茶でも飲んでいってください。
But he's a guy.
いや、遠慮しておくよ。お客さんだっているんだろ。
そうですけど。
I couldn't bear to see him struggle like that, so I carried his bags to the shrine without him. His husband. Ferris had gone back to her cafe.
それにしてもこの荷物いくらなんでも一人で運ぶには無理があるだろ
僕だって最近は少し力がついてきたんですよ。今日も岡部さんに言われた素振りだって。
Sword exercises. That was the training I'd given him when he told me he felt too much like a girl.
精神残魔流か。
Oh yeah, you know, the best thing ever. It was so stupid I couldn't even laugh. How dare you? How dare you? Thinking back, I was amazed he put up with that nonsense.
ルカ、帰ったのかい？
He didn't just put up with it, my guy. It meant like the world to him. Okabe, come on. Like, I could hear his dad's voice from their home behind the shrine office.
はい、今行きます。
それじゃあ俺はこれで。
He just doesn't know how much he means to people. Ah.
はい、ありがとうございました、岡部さん。
Lukiko bowed deeply as I left Yanabayashi Shrine. On my way home, I thought about what the two of them had said.
でも水臭いにゃ。何か困ったことがあるならフェイリスたちにも話してくれればいいのにゃ。
そうです。僕じゃお役に立てないかもしれないですけど、でもお話くらいなら。
I didn't realize until after they'd spoken. I had gone to Kurisu before I'd gone to anyone else. I brought up the app and started talking with her before I even realized it. She wasn't the real Kurisu, but that voice, the way she acted. All of it reminded me of Kurisu. All of it brought back the emotions I'd tried to hide. There was an incoming call on my phone. It was from Kurisu. She was probably there to complain about me hanging up on her earlier. That would be just like Kurisu. I don't think... But I didn't answer the phone. Couldn't do it even if I tried, and I did. I didn't answer any of the other calls that came in that day either. The United States of America, California. Okay.
全く。なんで私がこんなリポートしなきゃいけないのよ。
We're in California, apparently, with a reporter speaking Japanese. The reporter, Jessica Edmond, had rushed to the scene at her director's orders, and she was pissed off about it. She dreamed of Hollywood and even been in a movie once, so how did she end up reporting on this crap? Why are we in fucking California?
何でもいいから仕事をよこせと言ったのはお前だろう。
Oh jeez. All right. You if you can manage to tear yourself away, I'll bid you farewell. Good, best of luck escaping.
確かに言ったけど、だからってこんな事件。
落ちぶれた生意気な女優崩れを使ってやろうってんだ。感謝されたって文句言われる筋合いなんじゃない。
What the fuck is going on? Why are we in California?
それともここでも仕事をほっぽり出して逃げ出すか。何もかも中途半端で。そんなことだとガキの親権も取られちまうぞ。
She hated herself for not being able to say anything. Her stupid pride got in the way. She dreamed of being a Hollywood actress, but all she'd gotten was a small part in a B movie. B movie. It had never gone anywhere after that. Then she had a kid and came back home. Still, she loved her kid. She wanted to make sure they were taken care of, no matter what she had to do. What the fucking fuck is going on?
それで現場は？
その茂みの奥だ。
I'm not sure. Probably until I don't feel like it anymore. I wish I had like a regular. I don't know. Until I'm done is the answer. She went into the bushes and there she saw it. Several bodies, all brutally mutilated. What the fuck is going
このように
on?
国内において行方不明になっている研究者は今年に入ってから5名。そのうちの3名についてはアーティフィシャルインテリジェンスの研究を行っていたとされており、その背後には人工知能技術の発展に反対する原理的宗教主義者たちによる活動も影響しているのではないかとみて、当局ではさらに捜査を続けている模様です。続きましては現場からのリポートです。ジェシカ？
Jessica? Probably.
こちら
It probably
現場
involves
の
him.
ジェシカ・エドモンドです。今朝早くこちらの現場で発見された遺体に関して当初人間のものと思われておりましたが、その後の警察の調べによりますと、それがチンパンジーやオランウータンといった複数の猿の死体であることが分かりました。ただしこれらの遺体について一部脳および頭部が欠損しているものもあるとのことで、警察では猟奇的事件として地域住民への警戒を訴えており、
なあ岡部、
What?
この後授業は？
What? What the fuck? You can't. What? You can't just throw that at me and then just. All right, back to Okabe. What the fuck? All right, have a good night. I'm gonna. My brain. The fucking hell was that?
いや、今日はもう終わりだよ。
そっか。じゃどっかで飯でも食ってく？
どうせまたカレーだろ。キッチン倒壊か？
Thank you. I will try.
昨日ちょい臨時収入あったから今日は豪勢にもんでいいかな。
Oh man, my brain is fried now because what the fuck was that shit?
俺はやめておくよ。今月ちょっとピンチだし。
そっか。じゃまた今度な。
Yeah. So the VODs will always be there for you though. Through the power of YouTube and whatnot.
Ah.
I was talking with my friends after class. I had really started to get used to this. Before the summer, I had felt really out of place at school, but now it didn't seem so bad. Back then, I thought I was special, but now I knew better. As long as you make the effort to fit in, you can find a place to belong. Wow, that's a really shitty thing to say, Okabe. Oh, if you don't have a place to belong, you're just not trying hard enough. Try harder. Fuck off. That's right, I took that personally. People can change. No, they change whether they want to or not. It was too late now, but I'd learned something about myself. By present, okay, let's see. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, what a wonderful gift. Thank you for that. If I can, there. Glorious. Incredible. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy the, I don't know, whatever. My brain is still fried from those deceased chimpanzees. You know, the pile of chimpanzee bodies. That was weird, right? We're gonna talk about that? Okay. Oh god. Alright.
いい作戦でしょう。マユシーのアイデアなのです。いい作戦でしょう。マユシーのアイデアなのです。
Oh my god. When she gets all serious, it's the best. Oh, she's the best. It really was too late.
さてと、それじゃあ帰って。
I mean, I wish you the best of luck tearing yourself away from such incredible highbrow content as mine. Oh, same. Oh, it's your favorite scene, right? You love that scene, right? As I headed for the exit, I realized that I recognized one of the people passing through my field of vision. That was...
レース記念教授?
My college went out of its way to attract exchange students, so it wasn't unusual to see foreigners. But still. Right.
いない。
I hurried after him, but the person I just saw was already gone. Was I just mistaken? Come to think of it, the professor being here wouldn't be strange. He might have just come to meet with my advisor, Izaki. Izaki had wanted to get to know him.
今度教授に会ったら聞いてみよう。
I glanced in the direction he'd gone, and then left the school for Akihabara. Welcome back. All right. I apologize in advance for your lack of productivity. When I came out of the turnstile, Radicon was right in front of me, like always. The time machine that Suzuha had used to come here was probably still on the roof. Even if people didn't go up there often, it was still amazing that no one had found it after so long. Of course, that was all thanks to Ferris. She'd rented out the roof of the building and sealed it off. Of course, I hadn't come here to look at the time machine. I'd gotten messages from Lukako and Ferris after I'd left the lab last night. Both of them had asked, and neither of them were able to get any useful information for me. Okay, bye. It made sense when I thought about it. There was a missing persons report. Somebody might remember the police doing something, but there wasn't. But Ferris had said something interesting.
でも、おさげの幽霊が現れるって話を聞いたにゃ。
おさげの幽霊?
そうにゃ。なんでもその幽霊は何年かに一度現れて小さな女の子を見なかったかと探し回っているそうなのにゃ。
Golly gosh, I wonder who that is.
何年経ってもその姿が変わらないから最近になっておさげの幽霊だって言われてるにゃ。
Whoever could that be? That was definitely Suzuha. What would she do if she knew people thought she was a ghost? I held back a laugh as I tried to imagine it, then headed for Radicon. My goal, of course, was to find information on Kagari. This was where she'd vanished, which meant that this was where I most likely was most likely to find clues. I went around to each store inside Radicon and asked, but didn't learn anything. Of course, Suzuha would have done the same thing, so I didn't expect much. But that didn't mean I could just stop. The parts shop, the commercial facilities, even the back alleys. Even after all that, I went all around Akihabara asking people about Kagari. But I didn't learn anything useful. Some people told me the same story about the ghost in Twin Tales, but no one knew anything about Kagari. If a little girl was kidnapped or got into an accident, somebody might witness that. But going missing was a different thing. If Shina Kagari vanished of her own free will, all anyone would see was a 10-year-old girl walking down the street. Nobody would remember that 10 years later. I tried to think again if there was a better way. If the police and government weren't of any use, that left someone connected to the underworld.
裏世界. Ne.
Oh. As soon as I said it aloud, I drove the idea from my mind. How stupid. That's something the old me would have thought of. I'd given that stuff up.
そういえば.
I'd run all over Akihabara looking for something once before. I wasn't looking for a person then, but a thing. The IBN 5100. 6 months ago in the Alpha World line, I'd gone looking for the same thing that Suzuha had searched for in the past. Back then, that's right, Kurisu was with me. When Kurisu and I had learned there was an IBN 5100 in Lukako's storeroom, we worked together to carry the heavy thing.
あんたね、前に進まないでよ。私が後ろ歩きしなくちゃいけないでしょ。横に動きなさい。
Crab walk. Thinking back, all she'd ever done was complain. She was strong-willed, bratty, and hated to lose, but she was still so lonely. Once again, I'd taken my phone out of my pocket without realizing it. Amadeus. Since I hadn't picked up any of her calls yesterday, she hadn't called at all today. I stared at the Amadeus icon for a moment, and then put my phone back in my pocket. When I got back to the lab, I saw that Daru was completely exhausted. There was no need to even ask. It was obvious he hadn't found a single clue. Suzuha had been doing this for over half a year, so her face didn't betray her emotions anymore. Daru didn't even bother asking me how it went. He could probably tell from the look on my face.
考えてみたらさ、これまでだって鈴葉がそれなりに探してたわけでさ、それを僕ら素人が今更また蒸し返したところで新しい発見なんてあるわけないんだよな。
Daru said what I'd been thinking, but trying not to say.
手伝ってくれてありがとう。これ以上無理はしなくていい。捜索は私だけで続行するよ。
Suzuha evidently had no intention of giving up.
いや、ちょっと待って鈴葉。僕が言いたいのはさ、
父さんたちに無理させるわけにもいかないから。係の件は私の責任なんだし。
バカ言うなよ。子供の責任は親の責任だろ、上皇。
父さん。
ね、今のどう？かなりパパっぽかったと思うんだけど、なんならパパ大好きって言って抱きついてくれてもいいのだぜ。
Oh my lord. Watching these two always gave me a strange feeling. For a while after they first met, they were complete strangers. And now they were father and child. And age-wise, they were exactly the same. Maybe I could understand how Suzuha was feeling, but I had no idea what Daru was going through.
とにかく僕が言いたいのは、ただむやみやたらに探したところでダメだろってこと。
じゃあどうしろと言うんだ？
餅は餅屋って言うでしょ。こういうのはやっぱ専門家に頼むのが一番だと思うんだよね。
専門家？
こういうのはある程度裏の世界の情報にも精通してる人に頼むのが一番だろ、上皇。
Yeah, he came to the same That's really funny. I realized he'd come up with the same idea I had. My head hurt.
心当たりがあるの？
ち、父さんを甘く見ないでほしいな。僕はオタだけど顔は広いのだぜ。
Super hacker.
横幅も広いけどな。
Wow.
茶化すなっつーの。
っていうか本気で言ってるのか？本気で裏の世界の人間とやらにつながりがあると？
ちょっと連絡取ってみる。
Before Suzuha or I could respond, he took out his phone and started typing a message to someone. Was he serious? And was text messaging the preferred way to get in touch with the criminal underworld?
どう思う？おじさん。
実際にそういう人物が本当にいるのなら頼んでみてもいいとは思うが。
In fairness, being a hacker was a pretty underworld sort of occupation too. If I knew someone like him, it was quite possible that the person he said he knew really existed.
よし、送信と。あとは返信が来れば。お、
返事が来たの？
うん。今からそっちに向かいますって。
随分と話が早い相手だな。
遅いよりはいいんじゃね？
That was true. Daru was sending another message. He was probably telling her where we were. Now all we had to do was wait for her arrival. And then the phone rang. Who goes there? Look, go!
もしもし、ルカ子か？
あ、岡部さん。すみません。今、大丈夫ですか？
I just noticed a little frog behind him. little stuffed frog. Adorable.
おう、どうした？
実は、僕、岡部さんに相談したいことがあって。
相談？
今からお会いしてもらえないでしょうか？
今から？電話じゃ言いにくいことなのか？
はい、少し。
Right now? Would it be okay to leave this to Daru and Suzuha?
悪い。これから客が来ることになっているんだ。
I was interested to see what kind of person Daru's friend was.
そうですか。
その後からじゃダメか？
その後は僕も用事があって。
そうか。
それじゃあ。
Just as Lukako was about to say something. Tap, tap, tap. I heard sharp footsteps coming up the stairs. And then a knock.
はい、どうぞ。
悪いルカ子、お客が来たようだ。後で連絡を。
And then I stopped. The person who opened the door, it was...
こいつ、また。
All roads lead to Kiryu Moeka. I hadn't seen her since the ATF seminar.
岡部さん、どうしたんですか？岡部さん。
Just reliving horrible past traumas. Don't worry, Luko. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
お茶どうぞ。
Moeka was silent, with her head tilted slightly forward. Seeing her caused a dull ache within me, like my heart was being squeezed dry.
どうして？
Why was she here with Daru? I had any number of doubts in my mind.
どうしたん、オカリン？
いや。
Moeka tilted her head a bit to the side, and I quickly averted my eyes. There was no connection between CERN and us anymore, so she wasn't going to kill Mayuri. She wasn't going to kill Mayuri. She wasn't going to kill Mayuri. She wasn't going to kill her. I said it to myself over and over again, and finally started to relax.
おじさん、顔色悪いよ。大丈夫？
Yeah, I'm
気にし
fine.
ないでくれ。
Everything's fine.
それよりもダル、説明してくれ。
ああ、この人は桐生氏。ヘンプロのライターさんだよ。
桐生萌香です。
Oh, we know. She silently handed me her business card, which had the name of a company called Arc Rewrite on it. Publication Department. Daru gave a brief explanation to me and Suzuha.
なあ、ダル。お前はどうしてこの人と知り合いに？
前にさ、桐生氏の担当してる雑誌で秋葉関係の都市伝説を扱った特集があったんだよね。その時に僕のバイトのこと取材したいって申し出があってさ。僕のバイトってほら、 あんま大きな声で言えないやつっしょ。だから取材に関しては丁重にお断りしたんだけど、ただ僕って普段から足がつかないようにかなり注意してるんだよね。なのに桐生氏はその僕にたどり着いた。それが気になって、で会ってみたらこの通りすげえ美人さんだったわけだ。
Oh my lord.
都市伝説を追う美人ライターとか燃えざるを得ないだろう、上皇。
And that's how they'd met. Suzuha was frowning as she saw how Daru acted around Moeka. She didn't say anything, but I could tell she was thinking that he'd be better off directing his attentions toward her mom. Moeka, for her part, seemed completely uninterested in Daru. She was wearing her usual poker face and fiddling with her phone. She's still using a Japanese feature phone instead of a smartphone, huh?
まあ専門ってわけじゃないけど、秋葉についてはかなり詳しいみたいだし、結構裏の方の事情も知ってるっぽいから頼んでみるのもありかなって。
人探し、そう聞いた。
うん、実はね、12年前に秋葉でいなくなった女の子を探してほしいんだお。
Daru told Kiryu Moeka the basic story. She was dead silent the whole time, but she typed his words into her phone with incredible speed. Shining finger. I said nothing and just watched. She was once around her. She probably still was. Was it okay to trust her? It was just a coincidence that I'd run into her here. I knew that in my head, but my heart just refused to accept it. Here in the Beta World line, we'd never encountered Kiryu Moeka before. Of course we hadn't. I'd chosen the Beta World line so that we wouldn't. Even though the cost was Makise Kurisu's life.
つまり、その椎名かがりという人を探せばいいの。
そういうこと。どうかな。
やってみてもいい。
マジ？
でも見つかるかはわからない。
もちろん、その場合はしょうがないよ。
Normally, Moeka and I would never have run into each other like this. Of course, we might have crossed paths in Akihabara. We almost ran into each other when she'd come to interview Dr. Leskinen and Maho at the ATF seminar. But I'd convinced myself that we were never going to meet each other directly. Was this fate? Were she and I fated to cross paths at some point? If that was the case, maybe it was better to not try and avoid her, but to watch her and to see what she did. As I listened to Daru talk to her, that was when I started to think.
じゃあ報酬は成功報酬で、その他の必要経費はこっちで持つってことで OK？
問題ない。
オカリンも鈴葉もそれでいい？
私は手伝ってもらえるなら文句はない。
俺も構わない。
じゃあ契約成立ってことで一つ。
Moeka nodded slightly, then asked us for information about Kagari that might be a clue. Stuff like the clothes she was wearing when she disappeared and what she looked like. After that, she left. All that tension suddenly drained from my body as I sank into the sofa.
おじさん、本当に大丈夫？
大丈夫だ。少し緊張しただけだから。
It was a little late, but I took some anxiety meds out of my pocket and swallowed them.
おじさん、さっきの桐生萌香って人のこと知ってたんだね。
え？
She could tell? Yes, she has
マジで？
eyes, Okabe.
オカリンいつの間に？
どうしてそう思ったんだ？
見ていればわかるよ。
I guess you have to be pretty sharp to survive on the battlefield.
いや、
知らない人だ。
アルファ世界線では知ってた？わかった。これ以上は聞かないけど、私なりに警戒はしておくよ。
それでいい。今はな。
一体何のこと？
緊張したっていうことさ。
わかるわ。桐生氏は美人で巨乳でスタイル抜群でメガネ属性まで持ってるもんな。しょうがない。
そうだな。
She was a part of my life now. I would just have to use her as best I could. Maybe it was because she was gone now, or maybe it was just because of the anxiety meds. But I've calmed down enough to start thinking that way. Of course, who knew if I'd feel the same way the next time I saw her, face to face. I think I'm gonna call it here. That thing with the smoke really, I'll be honest, that really drained a lot of my energy, I think. Oh, that was terrifying. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna call it here. I'll save it a game. And then I shall call it a day. Bye.